Hey everybody, this is Alessandro. Welcome back to my channel. A couple of days ago, I saw a post on LinkedIn where I think one of the recruiter, um, he or she was complaining about the fact that sometimes in the game industry or animation industry, a lot of junior or fresh graduate, basically when they apply to a job, many times they end up applying to senior or lead position. And she was like, okay, this guy is gonna be a big waste of time for the recruiter who has to filter a bunch of CV that are not qualified, and for you, because what are the chances that a junior or someone who just came out of school mostly will get a job as a senior and as a lead, right? And I think it was an interesting point because the answer is not just, oh yes, she's right, the junior, yes, obviously he's not qualified for those kind of stuff, but there is also another side of the medal that I would like to discuss with you today, right? Okay, so let's start with the very basic. Yeah, obviously, more or less, I think it's the message is quite clear, right? If you're a junior, you're a fresh graduate, come out for school. I know you're mostly trying your luck to apply everywhere, and sometimes I did it as well. But still, applying with even though you have a very strong portfolio, applying for a position which is senior or lead, which requires between average to 6 to 10 years of experience, right? And you're a fresh graduate, it won't get you anywhere, right? Even though in the case that you have a very strong portfolio, right? Strong demo reel, right? Yeah. If you have even a weaker demo reel, you have zero chance of success. And again, guys, those are roles for people who have actual experience in the job. And maybe some people think, like, because I think when I was young, I was having this mindset, which is very wrong, by the way. I remember I graduated from Animation Mentor, great school. I had a great mentor teaching me from Disney, DreamWorks, blah blah blah, right? So I was very happy, very proud. And then I applied to a game company where I could see maybe from the quality of their games, from the animation didn't look that good. So maybe my mind was like, hey, my demo reel looks better. I could be a lead and do a better job. Or I could be a senior and teach those people, because maybe those people didn't have great mentor like I did, right? Very, very naive, because when you judge the outcome of a final product like a game, there are so many things going on that you can just say, oh, the animation looks bad because the animators are not capable, right? Like, after being in the industry for so many years, there are so many other factors that that affect the final result, right? So again, that kind of mentality, I would say it's dead wrong, right? And second, I would also question, like, a company that will hire eventually a fresh graduate to put in a senior or in a lead position. But honestly, guys, I wouldn't want to work for a company like this, because for me it will make me feel like the company must be desperate or they have no clue what they're doing, right? If they take a choice like this. So me personally, I would not want to work for a company like this, right? So saying that, there is also the other side of the medal, which is, even me being in the industry for many years, I very rarely see job posting, job offer for junior or new fresh graduate position, right? Yes, there is a lot of job offer, but most of them are for mid-level, senior, lead, supervisor, whatever, right? But very little for junior or fresh graduate. This is becoming a problem, because of course when someone graduate, even like I saw with some of my students, they want to apply for a job, and there is no job for juniors, that the one that they're gonna do, and it's like, obviously they're gonna start spam the CV, even with their a position that doesn't fit their expertise, because they do not have any expertise, right? They just studied from school. And and these go to the opposite side, where the recruiter are receiving now a lot of application. And it's a tricky thing, honestly, guys, because it's not something like, oh, your company should just open more position for junior, should train them, blah blah blah, because guys, it's not that easy as it sounds. And let me tell you a little bit about my experience. This is go back with my first job in Singapore, when I was a supervisor. And at some point, after a couple of years I was there, we started to look for junior and fresh graduate, to bring to the studio and to train them and everything, right? And I can guarantee you guys that the amount of demo reel they receive from fresh graduate that I'm sorry to say that was kind of embarrassing to the point that those guys should have gone back to the bouncing ball. It was staggering. Like probably more than 90% of those demo reel, they were not fit even to be as a junior, not even as an intern, because I could see that the people didn't know any clue about posing. I could see his animation. He didn't even have a single pose that looked good. Okay, the timing was wrong. When he makes a jump, all the spacing were all messed up. The character looked like it was kind of in too light in the air, and kind of even the way he lands, he has no weight. So like all the things that are being affected by the basic principle of animation, those people have zero clue. All right, so and that means that they had like very just no knowledge about the animation, right? That was the actual issue. And you still spend a lot of time to look at those demo reel and stuff like that. And again, I did a mistake at the beginning, even try to give feedback to some of them, and I almost got in trouble in that because they could not accept the feedback. Sometimes you could see they would try to be polite. Some people replied being offended, and the reason why is because maybe they spent a couple of years, 3 years study to like a university or something. They thought that they were learning animation, and they thought that after graduating they could get a job. But what the reality is, like what I always said, guys, doesn't matter where you graduate, doesn't matter your piece of paper, if the kind of school that you choose is not the good one, and you don't have a strong portfolio, nobody cares the name of your school where you graduate, nobody cares if you pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for the university, you're not gonna get a job, right? And it wasn't only that. I mean, sometimes after a while I managed to find a few candidates to bring them here as an intern. I can tell you guys that the situation wasn't that pleasing. I remember the company bring 6 to 8 students that they finished to graduate to let them do an internship. We give them tasks to do, and you can see the majority of them, they were they were not applying themselves. They're just playing with their phone. They didn't take it very seriously. We try to give them availability. I ask questions if you need any help, but they were like not doing that much. Like they almost didn't take it seriously. So we take those people. After a couple of weeks, my boss kicked them out. We remain with a couple of interns. One of them was really good. So one of them we were lucky. We got a superstar intern, and that eventually she became a junior and a mid-level. It was great. But we had another couple of juniors that they were very problematic. Their skills were not as good as shown in their demo reel, right? And there was another things, like rather than they focus on the task that they were giving to them, they were like going around the studio or like talking with all the seniors. So I think you guys, you should not do that. You should try these things the other way. I guess this guy just joined the company, and he had the courage to tell other people who were working in the industry for 10 years how to do things, and he wasn't even improving himself. So I think the picture, you're getting the idea of what I'm trying to say. Sometimes getting a very good junior that fits into a company is not as easy. Again, that doesn't mean that the company should not try and should stop looking for a good junior. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that there is a risk factor for a company to bring those kind of junior intern. Again, sometimes they're not that serious. Sometimes they're gonna work a little bit, and then you train them for a couple of years, and then they're gonna jump to another company, right? So all the training, all the mentor you did for them, it's basically wasted, right? And then at the end, the most important thing is like a lot of junior or fresh graduate, they have no self-awareness of where they are in terms of skill. And I think it's the same when people apply to those senior and lead position or whatever. It just look like lack of self-awareness from you, and you have no idea where you are, and definitely doesn't make you look in a good spot, because you never know. So like as a studio, you receive a demo reel of an intern or a junior or a fresh graduate. You can say like, what, this guy is not there. It doesn't have a strong body mechanics, but you know what, his storytelling is actually nice, his ideas is nice, he has some cool ideas, right? Maybe just need to refine his body mechanics. Maybe he's not a good fit for now, but maybe in 1 year, if he trained really well, I would be happy to have him in my team, right? You can have this kind of mindset. You can reply to him and let him know, right? You can keep his his demo reel on the side and call contact in a year and see a year later how he's improving, right? But definitely, if this person applied to you as a senior, it becomes immediately a red flag. So again, you need to be a lot more mindful about this, guys. And another things I mentioned before, and then I will close a video, that as I mentioned, I have few students that they had exactly the same problem, right? They had a very good strong portfolio based on body mechanics. They did it with me, and when they start looking for a job, they couldn't find any job position for junior. So luckily for me, like, because they train under me, they get a really good solid body mechanics. I told them, hey guys, I think with your demo reel, you can give it a chance to apply for a mid-level position, right? Because your body mechanics is good, but definitely do not apply for senior lead. People will laugh at you, right? So again, you can try a little bit harder if your demo reel is really strong, right? Maybe you can try from junior to the next position, which is mid-level, but not definitely senior or leads, right? And then what? They get the job eventually, you know. But that again, they get a job because they had a very strong portfolio. So again, guys, my suggestion is always the same at the end of the day. If you lack this self-awareness, if you're not idea where you are, rather than being just applied like this everywhere, because it's not gonna get you anywhere like this. I mean, I always encourage you to apply to as many companies as I can, but apply to a level that fits your skill, right? But again, if you're not entirely sure where your skill fits, hire a private animator, someone who has been in the industry for 15 years, between 8 to 15 years, and ask them to review your demo reel. It's something I did for my students. I'm still doing sometimes when people contact me. You choose the mentor or the animator that you think it fits your skill. Okay, you have to be the one choosing him, not the other way around. Contact him for a private consultation. Say, hey, this is my demo reel. Am I ready to look for a job? For what kind of job should I look for? And ask them to be brutally honest, because something that I see lacking in today's society, people are very afraid to speak the truth, to see how things really are. It's something I tell to the student when they come with me. I say, hey, if you decide to come with me, keep in mind I'm gonna be brutally honest. If your demo reel sucks, I'm gonna tell you straight in your face. I don't care if you've been studying for 6-7 years already with multiple schools. If you need to go back to the bouncing ball, I'm gonna tell you that straight to the face. Then it's up to you if you wanna accept that feedback from me or you wanna get someone else. I don't care, but my job is telling you what I think is the truth, right? And in my opinion, I think that's the best ways, also because it's what opened my eyes back then when I was young and I was struggled to really find a job. Okay guys, I hope this is helpful and see you next time. Ciao.